Well, let's talk about it. So, this is actually inspired by Andy No, a little bit, but it's actually a story. It's what happened to me. Back when the Occupy Wall Street movement was prevalent, I was much the same as I am today in my beliefs, and I tend to act on my beliefs. And one of the things that I believe firmly in is the right of free speech and the right of everyone to enjoy free speech. And what was unusual about my experience is that I had involvement in two movements that were radically different. The Tea Party movement and the Occupy movement. In fact, I had the honor of serving on the engineering committee for the Occupy movement. It was freezing, and they needed something to power their cell phones, heat coffee, just little things. I mean, it was Occupy Baltimore. And so somewhere there's an FBI file on me, I'm sure, about my adventures in the Occupy movement. So we designed and built, and I schlepped around in my car, a bicycle like the standalone exercise bikes that don't move, so that the rotational energy could be transformed into electricity via a generator. So that's what we did. It's kind of fun. I enjoy helping people exercise their rights. The interesting thing, and while I was there, I participated in the discussions, as I am apt to do. But the interesting thing to me is that the complaints of each of the two groups, when you looked at them written down, were almost mirror images. People from absolutely opposite ends of the spectrum were complaining about the same things. What differed were the solutions that each found acceptable. And the Occupy Baltimore movement was my introduction to organized socialist movements. And it wasn't monolithic, but there were absolutely socialist movements within Occupy. And I'm largely a libertarian. So, oil and water. But that didn't mean that I wouldn't help every person there express their right to speech. Anyway, it was interesting. The most fascinating for me, the most fascinating thing was that literally both groups, I mean, you had a list over here from the Tea Party and a list over here from the Occupy Wall Street movement, and they were the same. You know, what's wrong with this country? This is what we need to fix. They were the same. There was no disagreement. I guess the Tea Party mostly focused on fixing government, and the Occupy movement mostly fixated on fixing private entities. And I was one, and I am one, who says that before you tell somebody else to clean up their house, you should get your own house in order. And what that means is the government is our house. So if there is a problem being either facilitated or promulgated by the government, to me, it's wrong to go after the private entity that is taking advantage of that behavior by the government. The way to fix it is to fix the behavior by the government. So, anyway, that's my Occupy Baltimore involvement and Tea Party involvement in a nutshell. I may be one of the only people who participated in both. Have a great night, and we'll see you soon.